Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to today's Pada Beyond Pada Beyond Travel Recovery Solutions on the third day, and welcome to today's morning Discover Beyond session, where we'll be looking at discovering beyond technology and why it's critical to upgrade your back-end technologies. For those of you who don't know, the Pada Discover Beyond sessions provide the perfect opportunity for you to discover the latest products and services that can help you build your business and brand post COVID-19. Before we see highlights from the various exhibitors that are available to find at the event platform, we start off with a broad overview of the corresponding topic. As I said, today's session will be looking at Discover Beyond Technology and why it's critical to upgrade your backend technologies. So, today's session will examine why it's important to stay competitive in today's markets. Before we get to that, let me just introduce myself. My name is Paul Brangan. I am Director of Communications and External Affairs at the Pacific Asia Travel Association, and I'll be your host for today's session. Just a couple quick notes for those of you who are viewing today's event via the web-based application. Please note if you have any questions for the panelists or for the pitch sessions, please submit them using the chat function on the right hand of your screen. Very easy, just go there. You can also introduce yourself to your other attendees that are viewing this session as well. Say hello, where you're from, and maybe what you're doing. For those of you who are viewing it on the mobile app, same thing, just go to the session chat as highlighted on my screen, submit your questions using the session chat, or as I said, use that to chat with your fellow attendees. Another thing to look for is the bookmark. You can also bookmark this session or bookmark any future sessions to remind you of any upcoming sessions that you might be interested in. I should also mention to you that all the previous sessions are available to view on demand. Just go to the schedule, go back to any of the previous sessions, click on that session, and you'll be connected to the video from that particular session. If you have any other questions about how to navigate the event platform, on the first day, the first session of Pada Beyond, we did provide a walkthrough of the event platform, so you can actually go back and watch that if you're still confused about how to navigate through the event platform. And with that, we get to our panel discussion. As I said, we were talking about why it's critical to upgrade your backend technologies. And with us to help moderate today's session, please welcome the Chief Connection Officer and co-founder of TechSauce. He's also the ASEAN Director for Impact Collective. He actually moderated a session on Monday when we were talking about venturing into travel. So you haven't watched that session. It was a very interesting session. I do recommend you go back and watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kun Amrit Charoen-Fan. Hello, Kun Amrit.
Yes, I hope you can hear me, and it's great to be here. Sunny morning out in Samui. It's still a travel industry out there in the world, and I will hate to take off my virtual background. You will all be very unhappy with my view. Now,
I think we'd be inspired. We'd be inspired.
Well, I'll leave it so sunny, and the island is so beautiful that I think you will have a lot of people dropping out on the call.
So without further ado,
awesome, thank you, Captain Paul. So yeah, I mean, this pandemic has all caught us in a bind, and we've seen accelerating adoption of new technologies. And today with me are three very incredible leaders doing a lot of very interesting things, all with an expertise in backend and travel tech. I'm going to share with you why, maybe this is not the most sexiest tech that we think about in this pandemic, but it's really important to embrace it to remain competitive. Now, I'd love to invite Angelo Jambor, the Regional General Managing Director at APAC at DCS Plus, Hi-Ho CEO of Trip, and Melvin Ng, Regional Director, Southeast Asia Resio, to join me. So welcome aboard, gentlemen. I know we have a manual today, but we will keep representing women and diversity as always. I do apologize on that. That said, please tell us a little bit more about all the interesting things that you're working on in your respective company. We'll start with Angelo since he's got his mic on.
Hi, Amari. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Melvin, hi, ho, Paul. Nice meeting you. And good morning from Singapore. I'm a regional GM for DCS Plus, travel technology provider based in Singapore.
Awesome. Go ahead, Melvin, or hi.
I can go first.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ho. I'm a founder and CEO of Trips. We are a blockchain travel company, and we are also working on a lot of, like, we call ourselves a frontier technology for the travel industry. So I'm speaking live from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, at the moment.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Melvin. I'm actually from Rizio and innovation from KKD. What we do is that we are actually like a travel SaaS business where, some people may call it a Shopify for the travel industry, where we actually help to power the travel suppliers on a new wave of digitalization in a sense. Thank you.
Awesome. So, gentlemen, let's dive into it. This is not the most sexiest tech to work with. When you think about travel industry, you are really thinking about trying to be able to make sales, keep the operations afloat just to survive. But why should people tuning in reconsider or focus on this? Why is now the best time or not to invest in your backend?
I think from our observations, this is a time because you have a lot of times. You have a lot more times, like looking back when in 2019, when people are so busy. I think 2019 was one of like most busiest and one of the best years for the industry. People were just busy on selling and making money. And one of our client, which is UNESCO World Heritage towns in Vietnam, Hoi An City. So back then, they have about 5 to 7 million visitors per year, and they were so busy. And the whole town was just selling by paper ticket for most of their attractions. And when we first talked to them, how we'll be able to help them on digital transformations, on how to apply blockchain technology, they were like, yes, but, right? And then during the pandemic, they were just coming back to, hey, let's do something. And then the whole like decision process, in the past, we talked to them for 1 year, and then now, okay, let's do that in 2 months. So I think that really shows how the pandemic has to accelerate, like even like the oldest, the slowest part of the travel industry, which is the government sector.
Interesting. So COVID, the accelerant, once again reinformed. But folks, so is this the right space? You know, the back end, fixing everything that touches everything, you know, seems like a nightmare. Is this the right time to upgrade?
Yes, can I answer to this question? Before COVID, we noticed as a tech provider working with travel agencies, there was a trend anyway towards transformation. That was accelerated by COVID-19. And now it's not just the right timing, but it's critical because the disruption of COVID within travel business. We see a lot of agencies being hardly hit. And we know everybody, there were people furloughed, there were salary cuts, and then a lot of restructuring happening in this business. So it's a situation that you need to deal with. And this requires a different model of doing business than the one before COVID-19. And this requires more efficiency. So it's a pressure from outside, from the market, that requires the travel agency to transform, to bring in efficiency, and look at the business model and try to find ways to survive, first of all, and then to grow post COVID-19. And why now? Besides the critical aspect is this is also the most important timing, or the best timing, considering the availability of resources to work into a transformation project, but also the fact that you don't have a lot of things to do as a travel agency, so you can focus your efforts towards transformation. Let's be quite realistic from this point of view. And again, you are allowed to make mistakes. If you make a mistake today, the impact will be on a small scale. Then if you make a mistake post COVID-19, after the business is catching up, and then there will be other priorities to deal with. So this is the momentum from
Now, I think, Angela, you segue into it. I want to ask Melvin, like, with startups and innovation, you're not only looking at where the puck has been, but where the puck is going, right? Wayne Gretzky and all that. Talked about that in a session on Monday. Now, the issue is, I think it was already underway, upgrading, revolutionizing. And Melvin, you seem to got this Shopify approach. Like, where is the puck and the industry moving for travel tech backend rather than the past?
Yeah, so let's look at the current state of business, or the previous state of business in the tours and activities business, where the travel companies are very traditional. They may actually receive bookings. If they are land operator, they may receive booking via fax for some countries. They may receive bookings via email, and there's a lot of to and fro communications. And right now, when pandemic hits at this point of time, you can see that everybody's talking about domestic business. But the reality for this tours and activities business, they are reliant on the online travel agents, or they are reliant on trying to improve their softwares to be able to capture the domestic business. So that's why technologies like us would want to be able to enable them to see how they can actually get the business going at this point of time, to target the domestic market, to at least to help the industry get some business coming in, to help to get the B2C business coming into this business. And subsequently, when they start to look at scaling up, they could potentially, eventually is about connectivity, speed, and how you are able to make it more efficient.
Awesome. So walk us through, guys, like, what can we expect if we actually go through this journey of upgrading? How long, how much, who do you need in a team? And how do I get ready to get on this bandwagon?
I think I will start with the how much. This is very important, right? Yes, when this is the time, this is also not the time, because most of the client will say, yeah, we're trying to cut down costs, and now you come with us with expensive solutions. How do we afford that? So I think for us, what we're doing is we're providing all of our service at a complimentary fee, which means basically we don't take money from our clients. They can use our system for free, but the way we design our business is not based on commissions or other like consultancy fee. But we give out more like an open source model where people can use our system, our platform, and together we build a data system, a data marketplace together. So the money will be in the data that will be able to work together later, but not the current like upfront cost today. So I think for how much, I think I saw a lot of people, they are trying to help out by like giving 50% discounts on the travel domain, on 50% discount on subscription fees. But for us, we took the approach of like giving like completely free for the time being. So that is how we do.
Yeah. Yep. And GDPR wise, you're all in the clear.
Of course. Well, we're handling the data much better than Facebook. Facebook take your data, we pay you for the data, so we're much better.
That's a low blow there for Facebook, but
yeah.
I see Angelo smiling because I think you've got a very, I look at the website, you know, I see digital boxes and you're buying software modules off the shelf, I could imagine. Tell us your approach and why do you think it's better?
Yes. So a transformational project from our point of view takes from minimum 3 to 6 months, and it can be longer than that. It depends on the size of the travel agency and the scale of the project, what kind of things you want to touch. And the bigger the agency, the most complex the delivery and the most complex the different interfaces you need to customize as part of the delivery. Going to your question, I think it's important for the travel agency to allocate time, to take this into consideration. In my opinion, this is a common mistake. You think it happens overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It cannot happen. Time and resources, appropriate resources, which also means the leadership support for the success of the project. I noticed that the most successful projects were successful because of the leadership, because of the CEO, the GM of the travel agency, going together with the team behind towards the transformation. No matter how good is the technology, if there is not leadership support, if there isn't a clear communication plan, and which is part of the leadership anyway, then the success of the project is debatable.
Interesting. Melvin, and you've got an alternative model to offer, the Shopify, the sexy model of the, you know, the flavor of the decade. Tell us more.
Right. For us, I believe that right now, right, I mean, everybody's suffering. I mean, the travel industry is not doing well. And I think one of the key things as a KKday company and Rizio itself, what we want to do is to be able to help, to collaborate with everyone, to help everybody to recover from this industry. So when we look at it, or when I say that it's like a Shopify for the travel industry, so what I'm going to provide for my partners or my travel suppliers is basically to give them a website to make sure that they are empowered to be able to sell to a B2C customer. And for those who already have a website, and probably there are many who already have a website, but they'll realize that a lot of times they actually have a contact us form. And we want to be able to empower them to be able to have the customers to book directly on their website, which means that we will give them the booking platform and enable the B2C conversions right there on the website as well. And then we look at other set of clients who already have all this in place, and they're looking at connecting all the different channels. And Rizio as a business would also be able to have that to connect as a channel manager for the tours and activity business. And there's even a more complex one, which for those current theme parks who already have all those turnstiles into place. And a lot of times they may not actually have the most advanced technology. And I think this is also the best time for us to see how we can actually help them to improve and enhance the software to make it better. So as part of our initiative to make it better, to help the industry recover, we're actually offering a 1-year free trial just to get everybody going, you know, get money in, get revenue in, and let's see how we can help each other out in this industry.
All right, and a lot of good pitches. We're gonna hear a few more pretty soon, but before that, you know, everything sounds rosy, and Angelo, he's gonna have something to add. But you know, there's got to be a time where like some operators should not do this right now, or if you don't have these things ready, you're gonna make some very big mistake, or you know, these are the fatal flaws of a back-end transformation project. Give us some advice on what not to do, when not to do, and how not to do it.
So I would just build on what Melvin said before, because transformation is not just fixing what is not working today or changing the business model, but also looking for growth. And I think, and also going to your previous question, I think it's important to look at the modular aspect of any solution and of the integration with various other platforms within the ecosystem. I think this is the most important, because you need to have the look forward. Okay, you fix the things today, but you look into the future. What are the areas of growth, how you can support that, and what kind of product, technologies, different partners and vendors you need into your ecosystem to deal with. So this is an important aspect. Now, you asked for some best practices or insights in terms of transformation. I think what I noticed as a common mistake is that a lot of agencies are working today with some platform, which most of the time is a local provider for years in the market and with a solution that is quite tailored to their business. And it's working well, but is a lot of manual work and there are a lot of limitations in that business model. So changing that to a new platform, the common mistake is to look for something that is similar to what you have today. And this means a lot of change requests, a lot of additional requirements, a lot of customization as part of the delivery process. And it's a no-go from my point of view. Having a lot of discussions with travel agencies around and noticing some of the projects and then some of the success stories around, my message would be keep it simple. Try to get a product that covers the critical aspects of your infrastructure, that covers the most important needs, and of course bring something new and allows you to grow the business, but not something that you then tailored towards what you have today, because actually you need to change yourself as well. You need to change processes by changing your backend, by changing your mid-back office solution. You need to change yourself as an agency, and getting a vendor that you want to partner with for years is not just a decision for 2-3 years, it's maybe for 5 to 10 years of doing business together. You need to look at the abilities and you need to adapt yourself and then transform your business in this way.
Great advice. Hi, Alvin.
I think from what we think is for example, what Angelo is talking is like about the timeline of the whole projects, right? So for example, when we talk to our clients, say, hey, we're gonna do this for you for free for 1 year, and they will immediately think, well, okay, the more I use your service, then the more I have to depend on you, and then you only give for 1 year free. But what about the other years? Like, or maybe today there is a low volume, so you can do it for free, but suddenly when travel come back, it grow 10 times, and then you just come and give me a bill like $100,000 more. How do I pay for that? So I think that is a lot of questions that people ask. And also when my client is from the government side, they were like, there's a very small details they want to put in the contract just to make sure that everything's have to running the same on how they do when they do with the paper. So we have to say, like, guys, we have to understand for them, like, we are startup minded, so just build, make it break, and then improve it. But they are from the government side, so they don't have that kind of flexibility. So for us, that's a lot of time we have to say, okay, let's just calm down and let's just think for our client that they are not have the agility, they have the flexibility like us. So just give them time, and then do our best to break it down and say, okay, let's just do this part first, just like how Angela said. So I think even though we have a lot of time, also we need to also give our partner even more time, because making change is always scary. And when you change the whole system from their paper system, it's still they own the system, but using someone else's system is a different, a very different story, right? It's the same like when tech company, we migrate from AWS to Google Cloud. We also think a lot of time whether we should do or not, because it's a big decision. So I think let's be very, very patient for all of our clients.
Oh, great advice. So if Melvin, if you have anything to add, go ahead.
Sure. I guess in the new world, it's all about people, data, and technology. And it's about how technology is able to make you sustainable. So there are a couple of things. So you need to create a kind of efficiency on the back end and delight the customer on the front end, which is key. And the simplest way to do it is make it easy for both, for your customers, your suppliers, and your partners. Make it easy for them to do business. And that's all what technology should actually enable you to do that. In the new world, speed is essence. You need to be very fast. You need to be agile. And you think about how this technology can help you to improve your business in the short term the midterm, as well as the long term. As a business owner, you probably need to focus on your commercial side to ensure that kind of sustainability as you scale up when the time is right. With technology, you're able to retain certain data, so of which you're now able to use this data to maximize your revenue, be it in terms of your product packaging, your creation, your sales targeting, or even your revenue management. So when business owner looks at technology, they need to be able to see all this and see whether is this the right investment they should be taking.
All great advice. I'm going to summarize in a bit. We've got 2 minutes, but okay, we've gone through this whole brain damage, this journey of ripping out our back end, and all sorts of crazy stuff happens. But the light at the end of the tunnel, what can I expect after I've transformed and travel picks back up after COVID from this exercise? And you know, what are the returns on the investment? What can I see in my company? You know, people coming to work with delight and smiles on their face. Share some of your experience.
I think on my end itself, right, it is really for people to understand that technology is going to change the world. People need to be able to embrace technology. They shouldn't be resisting it. They need to be able to understand how does that actually help them in their daily business, and basically improve all the processes. So if they're not able to do that, that will actually have a very big major impact on sustainability, because eventually your competitors are going to catch up with you very, very quickly.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think I hope that I think after this, there were two things. I think the first thing is on the finance side of the travel industry, because when we look at a lot of our partner, and especially for a lot of freelance tour guides, the people who work in the travel industry, somehow they don't have like any good channels to manage their finance. So most of the monies they make, whether they keep for operations or they spend for themselves, they don't have a really great channels to really maximize the dollar that they have earned. Maybe it's just too busy for them. Like either they have to put money in the bank, or they don't have time for investing or some things. So this is some things where we're looking at, and we really want to have to improve the finance status of everyone in the travel industry through our blockchain technology that will be able to do a lot of things. So we hope that we'll be able to bring a lot more financial service in helping for the travel industry. That's number one. Number two, I think there's a lot of what company will need to change their business model. So in the past, we do most of the OTA will handle on the like commission model, right? I bring you sales, I take commissions. But right now, I think post-COVID, there will be a lot more company have to change how they do business in terms of this model, because to be honest, the commissions is the thing that also make a big burden on the supply side as well. For hotel, they have to pay 20% on commissions, and now they try to use different platform like Razor to go directly to consumer. So this is some things I think the OTA, they have to make a change on this current commissions model.
Awesome. And in short closing, Angelo.
Yes, thanks. There are opportunities out there and interesting ones. And I'm going to showcase actually an agency later on that went through transformation during the crisis. After the project ends, as you said, people are happier because they have a purpose. They are not just working to keep the business alive. They will work for addressing the new opportunities that are in the market, and is a different kind of setup. So it allows you to grow. It allows you to consolidate your business as a travel agency and be relevant for your target audience for a while.
Awesome. There's a riveting panel. I'm seeing that, you know, these gentlemen will take you on a deep dive. They're putting their best foot forward to say that now is the best time to consider tackling a really hard and hairy problem that most of us dread and avoid. There's a lot of different new business models, you know, the blockchain, the Shopify, and you know the way that Angelo is doing it to choose from. But most importantly, the fundamentals still remain. It's just great and strong leadership from the top, a team that is ready and willing to put a very strategic and a long-term decision. These partnerships, these tools is not a quick one-off band-aid solution. Is something you're going to stick around with for a long time. So picking the right technology stack to help you scale and grow, position yourself to be able to capture the opportunities when the travel industry comes back. So I'm really looking forward to the deep dives of all your technologies, and I wish all gentlemen great success in business, and everyone else who will be pitching very shortly. So back to you, Pada, team, and Paul.
Thank you very much, Kun Amarit. Thank you also, and hear more from them in just a bit. You guys can all turn off your cameras and stay on mute as just a little introduction as we get into the pitch sessions. So for all the presenters, just for a quick reminder, you'll have 5 minutes to present on your product. After the 5 minutes is up, I will come back and let you know that your time is up. And then you'll have 3 minutes to answer any questions that we might have from the audience members. So if you're watching this now, please do submit your questions using the chat function as I outlined earlier before. Please feel free to submit the questions as soon as possible. There is actually a slight delay from when we're actually shooting this to actually when you're seeing it, because we're streaming it through our event platform. So it's about 30 seconds. So if you wait till the very last minute to submit your questions, we may not be able to get to it. So if you have a question off the bat about one of the products you see, feel free to immediately send your question to us. We have about 7 companies here that are presenting about their various products. So let me just put them all up on screen here quickly. Okay. So as I said, we have about 7 companies that will be showcasing their products, and I'll be moderating the Q&A that happens after each session. So we'll hear from Angelo again from DCS Plus, Melvin from Resio, Andres Borman from OKKAMI, Christoph Newman from Easy Dialogue, GK Easy Dialogue, Dennis from the CEO of Porter Technologies. We'll hear also from Hi-Ho at Trip, and Brian at SensorFlow. So to start off the bat here, our first one, we will welcome back Angelo. As I said, he's the Regional General Manager of APAC for DCS Plus. So Angelo, welcome back. It's time for your 5 minutes.
Hi, Paul. Thank you. Let me share my screen.
And your 5 minutes will start once your presentation is up and ready. So
yeah, I hope you can see my screen.
Looks good.
Okay, so thank you again. I will introduce DCS Plus travel platform, trying to fit within the 5 minutes time that we have. Who is DCS Plus? It's a travel technology provider working for 18 years for travel industry, specifically for travel agencies, with customers in 50 plus markets worldwide and regional offices in different parts of the world. I'm representing the one opened in Singapore for APAC regions. We have other offices in Dubai, in India, and in Sao Paulo for Brazil and Latin America, and headquarters in Europe. Behind us, there are 2 investors from Western Europe, and we have developed in time, bringing in feedback from different customers, a full end-to-end platform with different products or modules that can be combined together into a solution or used as standalone products. Linking with a session that we've just finished before, the context of the market is quite interesting and requires a change. From a technology point of view, there are old legacy solutions with manual work or limited automation in place, usually by a local or small regional provider, which come with difficulty in in integrating or developing further on into a bigger solution or a bigger ecosystem. With this technology background, it came COVID-19 as a disruptor in the market that changed completely the setting. And now I try to summarize three main challenges for the travel agency. Of course, the immediate one is to control and reduce the operational costs to make it viable as a business model. The second challenge is to set up the proper infrastructure to look at new opportunities and allow the agency to grow. And the third one is to build in resilience, because there might be other crises in the future, and also agility to change the business model, because the market tends to be quite fluid and challenging nowadays. I will just go straight into the solution, and happy to say we have some of the agencies in our portfolio that were engaged into this kind of transformational project. I just picked one that started after COVID-19 and is already live, and essentially they transform and brought in the full end-to-end platform. It might be quite complex as a slide. What we have in the middle is an aggregation hub. IRIX is the name of the product that aggregate content from various suppliers, from GDSs. We are working with 3 different GDSs, from other direct connections, NDC-based connectivity, bed banks, of course, working with all the major names and other services, but also because they have a sizable to operating business, is AIDA inventory management solution for static and dynamic packages. This is aggregation hub, and this allows the agency to serve various business directions, various business units through various interfaces. For corporate business is Nova as an online booking tool, and working together with TINA mid-back office solution on travel ERP and the brain of the travel agency. And for B2C, which is an important aspect of the business that is more interesting nowadays with the crisis, is Trip as a B2C platform, and they were able to launch 4 different websites for 4 different target audiences based on the same platform. Behind TINA mid-back office solution, managing everything orchestrating in an automated way as a mid-back office hub, because it also linked with 4 different mid-back office solutions for 4 different markets. They managed to grow to actually and address. So in a nutshell, this is the full solution. Why DCS Plus in this case is a good mix of off-the-shelf products with fast delivery, considering the period of time, but also able to customize with the local demand and integrate with different other products into the ecosystem. And of course, the experience of 18 years of developing products for travel agencies in different markets, the ability to build expertise and pass it from one market to another, and share it with a travel agency. I hope this was useful for the audience. I try to be as quick as possible. I hope I can, I'm within the time allocated, and I'm happy to get questions.
Yes, you did it in 5 minutes, so you definitely did not go over time. Thank you very much, Angelo. So you said you have off-the-shelf solutions. So then from purchase to implementation, what's that lead time?
It depends on how complex the project is. It can be 3 months for let's say a mid-back office transformation project, up to 6 months or more, depending on the scale of the agency. For the end-to-end project, it can be more. For just bringing an aggregation hub or inventory management, it can be less. So 1 month just to bring one piece of the product, but for the whole full platform, perhaps around 6 months would be appropriate time.
And then, do you send somebody on site, or is it no? So
it's a little bit difficult because of, but of course we send somebody on site for a complex transformation project. We have a team of customer success team, a team of experts with not just technology experts but also travel experts with solid travel background behind in Romania. But we also have local resources here in Singapore and in other parts of the world. And yeah, so we try now to mix online trainings and online workshops and sessions with people on the ground. It depends where it's possible.
Yeah, I guess this time would make it a bit difficult for that. So
yeah,
that must be a whole new challenge and probably another whole discussion. Do we have any questions? We don't have any more questions, so thank you very much. But
Thank
if
you.
you have, just check our audience, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to check out DCS Plus exhibition booth. You can chat with Angelo and his team. You can available actually if they're online. You actually can go and call them and meet with them now. I believe they should also have, if they have a link to schedule an appointment, feel free to schedule an appointment with Angelo and his team and learn more about how his team can help your business grow in this current climate. So thank you very much, Angelo.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, so now we've heard from Angelo. Now we'll move on to our next presenter. We have the president and CTO of OKKAMI. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andres Bourbon.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, Andres. Yep, so if you want to bring your presentation up, and we'll start once your presentation's up and ready.
Okay, let me just share my screen.
Okay, all right, you're all set.
All right, thank you. So I'd just like to introduce OKKAMI. We're a worldwide provider of hospitality platform solutions for key hospitality brands out of Asia Pac. We deploy hotels globally, but today I'll mainly focus on how we're helping our customers kind of get through the current situation. So from our company's founding, the main goal was to kind of better help our customers complete transactions. And that means complete a transaction anywhere, whether it was on a mobile app that we make, a QR code, Facebook, Line, or all the other chat systems that we connect to. So today we work with kind of key brands globally. We have the entire Six Senses portfolio globally. Chatria, Maitria brands. We're the corporate global provider for Anantara and Avani brands, and also moving over to Oaks, in addition to other Thai brands like Akaran and Jono that's going to be launching pretty soon. Each one focuses on different things, but the one key advantage that we had is most of these brands we actually deployed last year when most companies were shut down. So there is a hope that most companies are still investing and looking forward to kind of drive more innovation to kind of help the industry rebound. So some of the pain points that we noticed last year while deploying most companies is that most hotels, whether it was a corporate or individual, had too many vendors, too many systems to kind of accomplish one key efficiency. The other thing was that it was difficult for customers to kind of fully understand the needs. They didn't really understand like how customers wanted to use the system, how they wanted to transact. And with the rules and guidelines globally being very different, most customers didn't really know if a hotel was even open in some cases. They just needed access to information easier. The other key one was a lack of payment acquisition points. Most customers were sending payments with bank transfers, which is very common in Thailand, but for other inbound domestic travelers, it's not very common. So having one solution to handle payments very easily was something that we looked at. Then also just dealing with reduced budget and staffing was the one key pain point for hotels. So what we ended up doing was learning from all of that and actually developing new additions to our platform, including what we already offered to be just one single provider that could connect to existing systems from temperature control, mobile door locks, payment gateways, PMS systems, and also POS systems. So just one system to connect everything easily and not having to have the owner kind of deal with all these technology hassles. The other one was being able to provide a pretty robust CRM and loyalty profile that could connect to, again, third-party CRMs and loyalty systems or our own, which allowed us to kind of be able to provide really insight on what the guests really wanted when they're staying the next time. And then the other one is ability for guests to pay wherever they want. So if they want to pay over Facebook, over Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, or the app, or even a QR code, we were able to facilitate that with the platform, really opening it up and letting the customer kind of like own their own journey. So the things that our platform includes today is the express check-in, check-out through the app, mobile key, digital menus anywhere. Again, you can look at a menu on Facebook, Line, the QR code, or even the app. Our staff ticketing system connects to other tools like Hot Sauce, Alice, Messagebox, but then we also have our own version too, with the hotels on a budget. We also do room controls for temperature and lighting, and then we have our own CRM and loyalty program, but we also connect to global programs like GHA Discovery, IHG's main global platform. So depending on what the corporates need or the individual properties needs are, we kind of have a solution to meet every requirement. And then what we've seen most customers go over to is really focusing on like these digital menus. So being able to offer a room service menu, a tour menu, menus for experience discounts or even prepaid coupons for hotel rooms, they've been able to do through our platform and push it to their website, QR code, all the chat systems we support. And one of the key drivers that was Chatrim, a local brand in Thailand, which really took advantage of everything. They replaced all the menus in their restaurants on property with the QR code, allowing guests to scan the code, view the menu in every single language, which really helped drive more sales. And then to give you an idea, once any of these customers chat during one of the platforms that we support, it all goes to one dashboard that staff have access to, and they could also send payment links directly supporting through Aiden, Stripe, or Red Dot. We're looking to support more payment gateways as we grow based on which payment gateways customers are using the most. And then the staff ticketing system that we have lets a hotel open requests, whether from guests or just back of house. They could do snag reports, kind of preventive maintenance, and really get an idea of like which rooms are having issues or not. And this has been key for hotels to kind of really be able to provide the same level of service as staffing has been reduced, but you have spikes in occupancy when you have holiday weekends coming up and things like that, where a hotel goes from 5% occupancy all the way up to 60% in some cases. And then everything just goes to one dashboard, whether it was an order from a QR code, the app, Facebook line, or a request from a staff member or a request from a guest. Everything goes to one place, and then we redirect it by roles on our backend dashboard. So it's really kind of one nonstop platform to kind of do everything that the hotel wants to do operationally. And the key thing is making sure that we help bring the hotel back to an ROI positive of everything that we supply.
Andre, is your 5 minutes is up? And you're at your last.
I actually finished it in time. Thank you.
Well, thank you much. How are you doing? You're based here in Bangkok, you said, right?
Yeah, we're based here in Bangkok. We were pretty lucky that I think in the case of most global providers that kind of do what we do in an all-in-one, haven't really been able to come into the country to kind of talk to customers, meet in person or over video call. So we've had the advantage that been able to work very closely with all the corporates that we have here to kind of develop the platform really based on the needs that were immediately being faced by their owners.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your product, I mean, you're actually addressing something that's actually really important with COVID-19, right? I mean, this idea of this contactless systems in a hotel. So, I mean, have you seen that? Have you seen, you know, since the pandemic, this more move towards this, you know, your platforms or similar platforms, right? I mean, you're talking about the contact with the menus, house keys, and you know, and all things just using your mobile app. Has that increased now? Have you seen more hotels saying, okay, I need to start looking into this and adapting this into my property?
No, yeah, it's been a huge spike. I mean, I think before, if you looked at it 2 years ago prior to COVID, you saw the brands that were doing things like this, these type of initiatives were on the luxury sector because they wanted to be advanced and kind of provide something that was very different as opposed to what other hotel brands were offering. But now it's become something that's you have to have in order to have customers feel safe to go to a hotel room, like being able to have a contactless check-in or just being able to disseminate information easily on any channel to a customer so they could actually have confidence to book a room and know that they could buy a prepaid coupon or book for a weekend and be able to show up and the hotel be open and services be running. So it's changed the landscape as far as I think a lot of people already said it earlier that it's kind of forcing the industry to change very rapidly. So it's for the good. So I think something negative turned out to be a positive overall for the industry. So after this recovery happens, most brands will be better prepared to kind of service the guests when everything goes back to like the regular new normal.
And then just a question about your product here. So I mean, so I guess the systems for the hotel, but then the consumer, they don't need to download it they don't download anything. They can use whatever they're used. Like if I use Line, that would be fine just to check in. Like a hotel key, I wouldn't have to download the hotel's property. Is that how it works?
Well, it depends. So certain functions require the hotel's app. So like if you want to use the mobile key or the check-in functionality, we could upload a passport and like personal information. That is only available on the mobile app. But when it comes to like buying products and doing payments, that's available on the hotel's website, different chat systems like Line, Facebook, and even over a QR code that's become very, very popular because there is no app involved in that case.
Okay, then we do have one question here from one of our audience members. What is your cost model? Is it a monthly subscription base, volume base? How does that cost structure work?
Yeah, so depending on the modules, we have about 30 different things that we offer, and it's very kind of segmented. So depending what the customer needs, you could just add on any component that you want, and it's a subscription model. So there's an upfront fee that ranges based on what the order is. So the highest package is if you have an app, but if you're just using the chat system and the payment gateway, there's a very low cost entry model that there's no upfront, and it's just a subscription-based model that's a flat fee. So again, depending on what you need from us, the prices kind of range, and we've adjusted even our rates to really help hotels kind of recover at this time.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions we have. That's 3 minutes of questions. Thank you so much. And as I said, if anybody has any more questions for Andres or his team, feel free to check out their booth on the event platform. It seems that he's definitely providing a solution that's severely needed for the industry as we move towards health and hygiene and contactless solutions moving forward. So thank you very much, Andre.
Oh, thank you.
And our next organization is GKEC Dialogue. So please welcome the CEO, Mr. Christoph Newman.
Yeah, hello. I'd like to also show my face, but I cannot start. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Hello, everybody from Tokyo. I'm Christoph Neumann. I'm very happy to be part of this very interesting conference on what technology can do for the hospitality industry. Let me start by sharing my screen. We are a company that provides a very comprehensive and general framework for building bots, voice bots, and AI bots. And I'm going to show you today how we're going to apply this to the hotel industry. Our concept is easy. Talk to your room. You arrive in your room. You have a number of questions. How do I switch the lights on? How do I make the room cooler? Where is the beer or where is the coffee to get a little refreshment? And normally you have to look here and there for the switches, for the guidebook, call the reception. We are saying you arrive in your room, you talk to a voice speaker that answers all your questions. Similar on your guest journey, during your guest journey, when you're outside doing sightseeing, you remember, okay, I wanted to get my room cooler because it's so warm outside. So you just write a line message, a WhatsApp message to your room. You ask the restaurant to reserve a table for you. All this is done with the same bot system. Finally, even before you check in, even before you book your room, you can already talk to the hotel on the same bot framework by a PC browser-based chatbot. This is our concept, talk to your room. Now, what's the background? Guest communication in hotels is very, very important. We all know that. It's the human touch that is a distinctive factor for hotels. But we have a lot of repetitive conversations in hotels that are done by hotel staff who have to dedicate significant chunks of their actual workload, not to doing their work, but to handle these conversations. These repetitive conversations are a very classical case that can be handled very well by AI bots right now already. So we have table reservations, we have food order, we have questions about the room, we have help with mobility, and all these conversations are 90% are patternized. You can really put them into an AI bot and handle the bot, then have the bot handle them as well as humans. Quick background. We are in the industry of conversational AI. This is synonymous with AI bots. We have voice bots that talk to you by voice. You all know Alexa, who can tell you what the weather is currently in Bangkok or Tokyo. And on the other hand, we have chatbots that do the same thing, only with text input and text output, text display. But the underlying technology is the same. So we subsumize it under this roof term AI bots. So if AI bots are such a great thing, why doesn't every hotel already have it? There's two bottlenecks, and they are both connected to building the bot. On the other hand, if you try it yourself as a hotel manager, if you're an adventurous hotel manager, you will probably get despair at one point because you are not getting along with all the IT and the linguistic stuff that you needed as a background. If you outsource this, on the other hand, you'll pay huge sums. You see, New Otani paid $300,000 2 years ago for getting a chatbot just for the PC, just for one language. We are providing a solution to all of this with our EasyBot framework. It's a software as a service, function as a service framework, where you literally get the screen that you see right now, a very easy screen that says, what does the guest say? What does the hotel say? What does the AI bot say? And you type conversations as you know them, as an expert in your area, as you know them to actually roll out in reality. You type them one by one, then you press build EasyBot, and then you can already use this bot on all the channels that I just showed: Line, WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, Alexa. I'm going to show you a very quick example how this works. This is a mobile version of the input screen that you just saw. So we are typing a conversation about a restaurant. I want to reserve a table. The bot says, for how many people? Then you say 2 people, and the bot says, okay, I got it. So you press the Build EasyBot button, and you use it in a PC browser. So we are using it in English. You see, I'm typing the question. It's a bit different, but it's still recognized. The boss asked me what I wanted. We do the same thing in Japanese because it's automatically converted to Japanese. It's not a machine translation. It's a conversion based on natural language algorithms. And finally, you can do the same stuff in your Line Messenger. Here we are doing it in German. It's working wonderfully the same way. So this is basically the EasyBot framework. Until now, the biggest problems with bots was that you had to choose which bot are you using. Are you using a voice speaker? Are you using a chat bot? Which brand? Line, WhatsApp, Facebook? This costs every time. For developer, it means to get used to different platforms. For guests, it means obviously to choose which platform are they using. So now we are providing one platform, EasyBot, that deploys the same bot experiences to almost any channel, any platform, and also to many languages.
Oh, hey, excuse me, Christoph, I think your 5 minutes is up.
Okay, very good. So this is already my last slide. You see, our major message is that you can do a conversation with your bot anywhere, anytime, throughout your stay. And the plus thing is that the staff can update the bots themselves by using the platform that we are providing.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So, quick question that I have about this. I mean, I know it's an AI bot. So, does it learn over time? So, as if I install this into my property per se, will this learn over time?
Absolutely. The data is anonymized and obviously collected. Is used to train the experience on certain common situations that you have in hotels, like food order, restaurant reservations, and so on. And it's making the bots better over time.
Okay, then if there's let's say there's a question that the bot cannot answer, does that then provide an option for me to go to a live staff member?
Yeah, there is several. I mean, this is a classical NLU challenge. You have several options to deal with fallback. Either you have a help functionality, either you have to, or you connect to a human operator, or you also have a way to kind of guess the most similar answer, which is probably still making the customer happy. Like customers, sometimes they ask, hey, bot, do you love me? This is obviously not something that hotels provide normally, but we still know that these questions will raise, and we have to provide something beforehand for those questions.
And then I saw in your presentation you said you have 5 languages. Can you tell me what the 5 languages you provide?
Yeah. It's Japanese, Chinese, English, German, and French for now. And we are very flexible. We can accommodate new languages in 2 or 3 months' time.
So, and it's dynamic. So like from Chinese to English or Chinese to Japanese, right? So let's say if I'm on property in Japan, someone speaks Chinese, very easy, but my staff member is English. I guess it's easy to switch back and forth.
Yes, all the information is from building the bot. It's available in all the languages that are supported simultaneously.
Okay, wow. And then, and I guess I believe probably it's a subscription model then for the bots.
It's a license-based model based on the number of rooms. We have to still discuss whether it's available or occupied rooms in the current crisis, but basically that's the model that we are rolling out.
Okay, and what I mean then, so that's your business basis subscription model. So per room, per property.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't think we have any other questions. Well, thank you so much, Christoph. And if anybody has any more questions or wants to learn more about Easy Dialogue and bots, feel free to reach out to Christoph and his team at the exhibitor booth. You can find out more about the bots and how they work and how they can help your company and your organization rebuild as you start to travel. Thank you very much, Christoph.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so now we've come to our next organization. We heard from him earlier in the panel. So please welcome back the CEO of Trip, Hai Ho. I should also say he's also the vice chairman of PADA. So hello, Hai. You're on mute.
Okay, I'm here.
All right.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, I'm set.
Yep, you're all set.
Hello, everyone. I wish you have a great day at the PADA Beyond. So today we would like to share a new technology that we're doing where we call ourselves a fairer travel economy, that we're building the next generation of travel platform built on blockchain. So the biggest problem that everyone having in our travel industry is how to acquire customer, and the fee is really high due to data monopoly. For the user, most of the travelers are paying extra price from the original price due to a lot of middlemen in between. And when they share their travel data, they have no control at all. And for the business, up to 50% of our revenue is spent to acquire new customer. And even though we pay money on Facebook, on other platforms, ads, but we don't have a deep understanding about the traveler as well. So we want to build a solution where we are a blockchain data marketplace that connecting business like you to the traveler out there. So for the traveler, they get the best price directly from the business. And they also be able to earn passive income from the travel data and also by referring their friends. And for the business, the direct thing is 70% cut in user acquisition cost. And also you'll be able to complete the control of the data of the customer that coming to your platform. People say that we are kind of like moving the data out of the hand of the technology mega corporation and give it back to the client. And we are one of the first in the travel industry to pay for data with cryptocurrency. So what does that mean for business like you? First, we have a fairer customer acquisition cost. You pay less compared to traditional marketing costs. You have a fairer data control. You have a fairer data access, things like gender, age, what kind of things they like to do. And also we have fairer access to capital. I will explain later. So let's take a look at on our consumer apps, how we get the data from the user. So every traveler, they will come to our app called the Trip app to create a travel plan. They will say the things where they're going next, how many people want to join, what kind of activity they like to do. And then they need to verify the travel plan, which means uploading the boarding pass, the hotel booking system, and all of those things. And this will go to our platform to verify that this is a real travel plan. And once they submit the travel plan, we will give them 264 Trip My token, which is our current cryptocurrency that we built. And with this data, they'll be able to use the money to book for hotel room, activity tours across the platform. And if they want more, they can just invite their friend to join the platform, so they'll be able to earn more money. And take a look at our business model. We are a win-win-win business model. So first, the traveler share the data, we store on the blockchain, we pay for the traveler. And then for business like you can access this travel data like gender, age, group size, interest, time arrival, so that you'll be able to acquire a customer and you can pay for the network only for the successful booking that you have from the result of this data. And for this whole process, user, traveler, or business can even earn more money by referring new users to the system. So this is how we build an open new data platform for everyone to adopt. And so far, since we launched in January 2019, we have 227,000 users that are coming to us without paying a single dollar on advertising or anything. 47% of our users are still active after 30 days. And we are currently the #1 blockchain travel app on df.com rating. And best of all, during the toughest time of travel industry, we still grow 5 times because users don't just come here to make a booking or anything. They are coming here to share their travel data to earn more money so that they can travel later. And also, I would like to share one case study today. So we have a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO, Hoi An City, right? So they want to build a platform, not just to distribute, but also to be able to sell the digital ticket to 5 million annual visitors that they are having. But right now, the problem that they are having is they have no budgets and they cannot give out commission per ticket. So basically, they want a full system to manage and distribute ticket, but they don't have the budget. So this is where we're coming in. So we providing a full solution to digitize their paper ticket. We give them a platform so they can sell and collect money directly from the traveler, and all of this as a free cost. So what do we share with Hoi An? We built together a data platform that we can use it for future business. So this is something we are trying to do, and we're trying to have other travel business across the world. So what can we can have? We can have with user acquisitions and retention. We can have with zero commissions ticketing system. And we also are trying to build a smart voucher system for hotel so that you can build a direct relationship or give direct discount to user. So this is the 3 things that we are trying to have the travel industry right now. And we are great to have a lot of partner for a sustainable future that we believe that this is the future for post-COVID. So also be able to working out with a great tourism board across the world and trying to help out. So this is just the beginning of the iceberg. We hope to discuss to you more so that we can help you with zero cost during this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hai. Very ambitious using blockchain. I think probably the only one that I've seen so far. Very bullish on it. In terms of implementation, question. So if I'm looking to implement, what's the lead time from from discussion to implementation?
I think what we can do is within 2 or 3 months, then it can be done. Most of our solution are out of the box solutions. We already built it in, or our partner already built it out, and then we just install. So what we believe is we want to make sure that everything is already there, that we don't have to build custom things, and we have to make. The only thing is if we take 6 months to complete projects, maybe we don't have that 6 month time. So for us, we want to make sure that like from 2 to 3 months, then it can be done.
But what about like for the customer sort of adoption of that, right? I mean, so I put in my property. I mean, you said you see a lot of customer adoption of this system sort of moving forward. I mean, what's the trajectory of growth what you see over the next, let's say, 2 to 5 years?
I think for 2 to 5 years, we're looking at a number about 50 to 60 million users in 2 to 5 years. And this is different because this is not just people who want to travel, but this is people who want to be a member of this new travel platform so that they can make money by referring their friends to join the network. So for us, whether with COVID or without COVID, we still be able to looking at 50 to 60 million users in the next 5 years.
Wow. And I think we were talking about a bit before on the thing. So like the value of this would just increase over the next few years. I mean, does it sort of mirror sort of what else is happening out in the crypto and blockchain space?
It is because in the past when we talk about this, people will have a lot of skepticism, like why do I need to share my data? What do I get if I have some cryptocurrencies? What is cryptocurrencies? But with the recent adoptions of like serious companies, I don't talk about Tesla because I think Elon is really being the pioneer in everything. But key like traditional like the DBS Bank in Singapore. These are like one of the very traditional, well-established bank in Asia, and they are already launching the platform on cryptocurrency. So I think it is a very strong statement that the technology is already mature enough for mass adoptions.
But I think the big problem, I guess, is just the understanding of it, right? That's getting the properties, the organization to understand the whole aspects behind crypto and
yep. So I think blockchains or cryptocurrency is just the back-end technologies. The end consumer, the end business doesn't need to know. Well, the only thing they need to know is to make sure that they have a stake in this. And when we build this, we don't require any upfront investment or anything at all. If this network grows, everybody wins. So that's the key thing they need to know.
Well, I don't think we have any questions here. So, well, thank you very much, Hai. I think even if there were any questions, that would probably take more than 3 minutes to answer them. But if anybody has any questions about Trip and what they do, actually, if you have any questions about blockchain or crypto, Hai is the guy. He definitely has a very knowledgeable about that space. So feel free to reach out to him or his colleagues over at at their booth on the platform. Or you can contact him at the information that you see here. Thank you very much, Hai, and I'm sure I'll see you again.
Okay, yep, bye, thank you.
Take care, Hai. Okay, we've come to our next presenter. Someone we also saw earlier today at the panel, the Regional Director for Resio. Please welcome back, Melvin.
Hi there.
Hello, Melvin.
You hear me now, right now?
Yep. I think let's just speak up a little bit.
Okay, sure. Once again, thank you, Pata, for having me here at Pata Beyond. Looking forward to share with you guys a little bit more. Let me just try to open up my screen right now. Are you able to see my screen right now?
Yep, looks good.
All right, I shall begin then. Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon for some of you. Thank you very much for joining me in this session to understand more about how Resio can help to power your business recovery through digitalization in a post-COVID world. So who are our clients and business partners? Basically, it includes all the different tours and activities in the world, sightseeing, water sports, day tours, etc. And most of them may have little or limited knowledge on software. Hence, they might probably engage an IT company to build a website, of which these companies will ask several tech questions which you may not know how to answer, or they do not understand travel. So they will build or give you a system that may not be suitable for the travel users. So we are here to address these key pain points, be it in operation, marketing, or distribution. You probably have encountered overbooking situations, multiple paperwork, human errors due to tracking, and many more. So we understand you. That's why we are here to help you resolve all these issues. So what is Resio? So Resio is Asia's #1 booking system designed for the tourism industry. We help you to digitalize your business and connect you to the world. If you're familiar with the retail business, think of us like a Shopify for the travel industry, where we can provide you with a website, your own website, to sell online directly to your B2C customers, and yet also have the capacity to function as a channel manager for the tours and activities industry. We are also able to connect with the OTAs as well as to support your distribution to your current or new suppliers. So our mission is to support you, the tours and activity suppliers or event planners, to grow your business and revenue, yet taking lesser time to achieve your objectives, allowing you to focus on what you do best, running your tour, event, or activity. So with Resio, you can now receive direct bookings from your own website. If you don't have a website, we will give you one to power your efforts to go online. If you already have a website but do not have a booking platform of which you are now getting your customers to send you a note via Contact Us form, we are able to link to your current URL and power your bookings to have your customers book directly on your channels. You will also be able to use Rezio to connect with OTAs like KKday to expand your online distributions. Hence, it helps you to manage your inventory, content, track sources, and improve accounting all in one place. So for some of you who are used to doing B2B distribution, as a tour operator who sells to a travel agent in Europe, you can also use this system as a B2B manager so that now you are moving your business to a B2B sales online. So basically, you can now grow your business and automate daily operations all with Rezio. Our state-of-the-art technology makes it easy for you to do all that. We will provide a user-friendly back-end operating system where you will then be able to upload your product, content, pictures, prices onto the site easily. So uploading a product will probably just take 30 minutes if you have all the information available. So nevertheless, our team will always be able to guide you on the initial setup, and you can start selling with your customized name and logo on your voucher. The above are just some benefits, and there are definitely many, many more. It is not just about getting 24 hours bookings and increasing revenue, but most importantly, you will be able to save 50% of your workload and cost, especially during this time. You don't have to worry about hiring even more staff to handle your offline and online business or even the IT costs. So with Rezio, we can settle all this for you, and you will actually have long-term savings. So do let us know how we can support you. In less than 1 year, we have already supported close to 500 suppliers, tripling the number of activities to over 12,000 in just 6 months. Of which, here are some of our happy customers, and we have many more good case studies and examples, which we'll be happy to share with you more. Some of these suppliers use Rezio for many different reasons, from tours and ticketing solution, COVID-19 crowd control within the attraction, expand B2C and B2B channels, channel manager tool, etc. Hence, we would love to have you join them to enjoy our services as well. So to start, it is so easy. Just tell us your company and products, and our team will be able to guide you through the initial setup, and you will be able to sell directly and increase your revenue. And the best news of all, we are now offering a 1-year free trial to help you in your business recovery during this pandemic. Hence, please feel free to scan this QR code with your mobile phone to sign up with us now, or you can also reach out to me via my email above. Once again, thank you very much for your time to join me in this session, and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you very much, Melvin. Just there at the 5-minute mark. A quick question, just if anyone, please, if anyone had any questions, please do submit them. Can you just sort of clarify what the relationship between Rezio and KKday is? Just, I think I might have missed that.
So Rezio is a business innovation from KKday. So the parent company is KKday. However, Rezio remains as a neutral party from KKday as we try and see how we can support the travel industry to digitalize their business.
Okay. And then the 1 year free trial, you said it's 1 year free trial, but then after that, if we decide not to, I can then just do you have to provide like payment information first to get the 1 free trial, or is it that I can try the 1 free trial and not provide any payment information? How does that work?
So at this point of time, we do actually require like a credit card to just guarantee that, but it is free. It is just like for us is we want to be able to help the industry to recover. So if after 1 year, if the supplier say that, you know what, Melvin, I just don't want to use your service anymore, then they can just close it. It's fine. We are not charging them anything at all. But of course, on a case-to-case basis, based on the industry development, if it really, really requires for us to extend the free trial because people are just not traveling and the travel suppliers are not getting business, right? We will actually review it accordingly and see what we need to do to be able to help the industry recover.
Oh, no. I mean, I really do love the fact that you guys are providing the 1 year free trial. I mean, I think it's important to be able to allow businesses that aren't digital now to sort of get into that space. I mean, we all know that this pandemic has actually pushed that that move to Industry 4.0 accelerated that, right? Even though before the pandemic it hasn't, this has really accelerated. People are now moving more digitally. So I mean, have you seen that have you seen that as yourself? More people moving towards the digital platform, more interest in what Resio provides?
Oh, definitely. I guess a lot of people are all looking at targeting the B2C business, but a lot of these companies may not know how to do it. So they may actually engage an IT company who do not understand the travel experience, which is why it will actually defeats the purpose of having the right UI and UX experience for the customers. So for us, because we understand what the customer wants, the design that we actually have for the suppliers to use it is very user friendly. So hence it's fitted in for the travel users.
Yeah, I mean, I find that to be some of the issues I always, you actually hit the nail on the head for me, for a lot of, when we're looking at a lot of event software, you have people who create event software, but event software for our industry, people who don't understand the industry or like a trade show or conference wouldn't understand what they're creating for us. So definitely hit the nail right on the head with that. Well, thank you very much. I don't think we have any questions, so thank you very much, Melvin. And if anybody has any more questions for Melvin or his team, feel free to reach out to him at his booth. You can call him if they're available, if they're online now, or send a message or schedule a time to call. We've come to the next organization, and with that, we have the CEO of Portier Technologies, Mr. Dennis Tekarek. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Dennis.
Yeah, great, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Let me get straight into it, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So, as we all know, and probably propelled by the pandemic like never before, guest behavior is changing drastically. And in that sense, we see that hotels are now a much more critical component of the overall traveler journey. What we see with hotels as a problem, though, is that typically guest engagement in particular ends at the exit doors of the property, because as per the physical limitations of the hotel, hotels tend to not continue the journey with the guests across the destination. But having said that, we believe that there is an unprecedented opportunity to capture more of the very valuable traveler wallet by delivering an experience that expands and goes beyond the typical guest engagement that ultimately stops at the doors of the hotel. Having said that, travelers are incredibly skeptical and they are very elusive as well. So looking at 2020, the year of the pandemic, where we would have expected a surge in app usage as far as traveling is concerned, we actually saw that travelers used travel apps for a lot less than they had ever done before, leading to a usage of around 3 minutes per traveler per day as far as travel and hotel applications are concerned. And that then represents a missed opportunity because ultimately speaking, travelers spend a lot less time at the hotel and a lot more time in the destination. In fact, they spend about 3 hours at the hotel. Travelers typically say that when they're more engaged by the hotel, they spend more at the hotel in terms of the amount of money they spend. And the average traveler wallet that we see today gets to about $241 spent per traveler per day across the globe. Seeing all these numbers on one board, the ultimate rule here is, or the ultimate challenge is to get the traveler engaged beyond those limitations and tap into that wallet. And that's essentially where we come in. So we have an ecosystem that spans a proprietary backend that is fully controlled and fully customized by the hotels and the hoteliers. And that pairs up with devices that run our operating system and are an uninterrupted channel for communication between both the travelers and the hotels via customized smartphones that are placed in hotel rooms and are free to use for travelers. In that sense, our spot on the guest journey is the most prominent part, which is the in-destination aspect. So we don't really focus too much on what happens before guests arrive at the hotel, nor do we focus too much on what happens after they leave. But as far as the in-destination experience is concerned, so the first time that they get to settle at the hotel, we are the leading platform. And because we focus on the engagement aspects of that particular segment, we drive the highest numbers across the board. So
Dennis, were you supposed to share a PowerPoint? Because we actually don't see it.
Oh, sorry. I completely forgot to share my screen, actually. Sorry. Okay, apologies. Yeah, so across the board, we are essentially the leading platform when it comes to engagement. 80 out of 100 guests typically decide to use our platform, and they use it for an average of around 55 minutes per user per day, ultimately representing a very, very captive audience for those that want to engage those travelers. That then leads to hotels delivering more increases to their RevPAR. Our hotel partners currently do about 25% more from ancillary services than any of the times that they did before we actually arrived on site. Our business model is also very simple. We sell on the basis of a SaaS subscription to the hotels. The hotels don't have to pay anything upfront, nor do they have any huge lead times as far as installation is concerned. And they simply pay us a monthly subscription for access to the backend with unlimited users, as well as the devices that are placed in the hotel room and then are controlled by the hotels themselves. Across the board, we work typically with hotels that are in the 4 to 5 star range that ultimately have ancillary services to upsell. And in that particular segment, we work with branded hotels from Accor, Hyatt, and Banyan Tree, as well as recognized boutique properties from brands like the Siam or Capella, for example. And with that, the guests of our hotels are essentially a lot more happy, or a lot happier than they were in the past as far as those hotels are concerned. Some guests use our platform as a communication tool. Others use it as a piece of information when they want to engage with the hotel services as well as the city services. And then again, others use it for a safety mechanism whereby they can actually engage with a platform that gives them the peace of mind as and when they explore the destination. During the pandemic, we've ultimately driven the notion of allowing hotels to stay physically distant to their guests, but emotionally close. So in many cases across Thailand in particular, as well as parts of Europe, we've seen our solution being deployed as a replacement for touchless technologies, as well as a single point of interaction for guests and hotels. Our team is essentially a mix of travel and technology experts. So we've worked for some of the biggest companies. Between the three of us, we've actually founded 5 companies and exited 2. And across the board, we have experience in the travel industry with companies like Pegasus on the board, as well as deep technology companies, including Oracle and Google. We are doing 2 things. We're raising a 12 million Series A to ultimately back up our previously raised seed round, to continue our growth specifically across APAC. And similar to some of the other pitches that we heard, we are offering a first year for free at this moment in time to ultimately give the hoteliers an ability to experience the platform before committing for anything longer than that. Thank you for your time and open for any questions, and apologies for not sharing the screen earlier. I think that was a bit of a rookie error there.
It's okay. I think if there's any more questions, people can actually visit your exhibitor booth. So you're based in China, is that correct?
I'm based in Hong Kong. We had a team in Shanghai as well, but we are based in Hong Kong as a company, and our largest office is actually in Bangkok.
Okay, so that's why you have you're showing a lot of the Thailand hotels.
Correct.
Because I think the question I had before is like, when you implement this, you kind of have to have staff go to the property to help implement the software, or it can be done remotely?
It's fully done remotely. So it typically takes about a day and a half, depending on customer or guest traffic around that date. And we don't have to turn up on site. So we can. And if we deploy, say, for instance, in Bangkok, we typically tend to turn up on site, as well as in Hong Kong and Singapore. But we've deployed several hotels in Europe without ever being there in person.
So it's a 1.5 day, 2 day sort of lead time to implementation. Is that correct?
I mean, the lead time is a bit longer because we need information from the hotels, because we see the initial launch as a white glove service. So all the information that the hotels would have sitting in a multitude of platforms, they send to us, and we create the first experience for them before we actually go live. If the hotels happen to do that in a matter of 2 or 3 days, then obviously the launch and the lead time is a lot shorter. But the actual launch of the service on site takes about a day and a half.
Oh, so I mean, so if we say had everything already digital in the perfect format, it'd be easier to launch. If I was still a bit older and had everything on paper, you'd have to move that into a format that would make it
correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, any questions? Do we have any questions from? Well, you don't have more questions. So thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you.
And if anybody has more questions, as I said, you can go visit Dennis and his team at their booth at Porter Technologies. If they're there, you can call them, find out more how you can implement their technology into your systems. And we've come to our last company, last but certainly not least, from Singapore. We have the AVP of Sales for SensorFlow, Mr. Brian Wong. I look forward to this presentation. Right, Brian?
Okay, thanks. So yeah, I hope you're right. We're last, but hopefully not least. So let me just share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
Not yet. Now we do.
Okay, cool. All right, so thanks everybody. Thank you for taking time to listen to the presentation. So SensorFlow is a Singapore-based company. Our mission is simple. We want to help make every building more sustainable via energy efficiency as well as operational excellence. So we use Internet of Things and AI technologies to retrofit every building with our product in order to automate decision making as well as generate actionable insights from the data that we collect using our sensors. Currently, we focus on hotels, and we offer our solution at no upfront cost for the customer. So, having worked with hotels across the region, we know that these are the problems they face. 24% of guests complain that their rooms are too hot or too cold, and the primary reason is because the air conditioning system does not function properly. 3 bad reviews and 40% of potential guests will choose competition, choose another hotel. We also know that energy cost is actually a very big item on a typical hotel's P&L. On average, it's 8% of the revenue. So 8% of what they collect from guests actually goes to pay for the electricity bill. And that's also one of the reasons why the profit margins are less than 12% on average for hotels. So, as mentioned on the previous slide, high energy costs are eating into a lot of hotels' bottom line, and one of the reasons for this is because when a guest leaves the room, the aircon is typically left on running, so wasting a lot of energy. So, to help solve the problem, the SensorFlow solution essentially automates the air conditioning system by either switching it off or increasing its set point temperatures when the guest is not in the room. And when the guest returns to the room, the system automatically returns or reverts to the original setting that the guest has left it at. So this ensures that the hotel minimizes energy consumption without compromising guest comfort. So these are the products, this is a list of products that we typically install in the rooms and in the building itself. The occupancy sensor senses that the guest has left the room. It would then send a signal via the gateway to the smart thermostat, which would then either switch off the aircon or increases the temperature to 26, 27 degrees. We also install energy meters to measure the real-time power consumption. And in some cases, we install balcony door sensors as well. And by the way, our system can work with different types of HVAC systems, ranging from split units to VRV, VRF, and chiller systems. And if the hotel is a chiller system, we also have to install flow meters and pipe temperature sensors. So I think I mentioned earlier, we actually offer our system at no fund cost. So there's no initial investment for the customer. What we do is that we go in, we pay for the hardware, the software, we install the entire system. And what happens is that the hotel is going to pay us 70% of the savings that we help them to generate. And there will be unlimited user access to our cloud-based dashboard. So there's the dashboard that the front desk or the engineering team at the hotel can use to interact with the system. So you can download, you can look at real-time information such as power consumption, in rooms, temperature, settings, humidity, but you can also make changes to the aircon system. For example, if a guest is struggling with the room temperature and they call the front desk, you actually don't have to go to a room, and that's particularly sort of relevant during COVID. because you want to minimize contact. So the front desk person can actually, via the dashboard, change the setting in the room and make sure that it's what the guest is looking for. We'll also be sending monthly savings reports, plus other data insights. And there's going to be a dedicated customer success manager that's going to be working with the hotel on a regular basis to offer advice and to essentially just to try to help the hotel, the building improve efficiency and productivity. And all the products come with 5-year hardware and battery warranty. These are just some of the customers that we've been working with. We actually have a pretty wide range of customers, ranging from 4 or 5-star hotels, international brands to local, even co-living spaces. So the product has been pretty well adopted across a very wide range of customers. So that's a really sort of quick rundown on what we do. We do have a booth, a virtual booth. So feel free to visit us. We'll be happy to share more details, or you can email us at sensorflow.com for more information.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. You're just on time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
I thought it was
perfect timing. Interesting that you mentioned there was no upfront cost, but is there like a deposit, I guess, that like the deposit that I need to put down for the equipment if you install it within my property?
No, there's actually zero cost, no cost at all. But what we do is that we need to sign a contract, typically a 5-year contract with the hotel. And the contract basically states that, for example, on that particular month, we help you to save $10,000. You have to pay us $7,000. So 70%, 30%. So there's a contract in place to ensure that, we make our money back and that you don't damage the hardware, because it belongs to us, right? We essentially release the product to you. We help you save energy, and then we split the results between ourselves.
So you would look at my property's previous energy bills. So if I started, let's say in March, you look at my previous February, January, and so on, so forth. Or would it be like you look at the full year energy bills? I guess the timing would be, the seasonality would be different.
Exactly. You just you mentioned, you just talked about something that's really important. The seasonality is a big thing in the hotel industry. We all know that. So we look at the past 12, 24 months. But what is more important is that we actually use machine learning, because it's really difficult to compare, let's say month on month. You take March this year, compare March last year. The outside temperature could have been drastically different. And outside temperature can have a very strong impact on the power consumption, right? So what we do is actually we look at historical data, but we also look at real-time data. We essentially use the machine learning to learn how the air conditioning system behaves, in response to the outside temperature, the guest behaviors, etc. And then the machine learning actually gives us a model, and that model we will only apply it when it achieves 95% accuracy versus the actual energy consumption. Because remember I mentioned one of the things that we install are energy meters, so we know the real power consumption in the room. So our machine learning models that until it's 95% accurate. Then we use the machine learning output to measure, determine the baseline.
Interesting. And then for the, I guess, so when you things then, I mean, you guys, so the hotel has the dashboard and you guys also have access to the dashboard as well. So then just say, okay, look at this month, we've seen that you've saved $7,000 or 7%. And then you can say, okay, well, look, we're both look at the same exact dashboard. Is that correct?
Yes. And the dashboard does more than that. Dashboard, allows you to see your actual energy consumption, but it allows you to check the humidity as well in the room. So in the sensors that we install, there's a humidity sensor in there, and humidity is a big issue in some hotels because it can lead to, water moisture building up on the wall, and then it could cause a lot of damage. It can be very expensive to replace. But also, remote access. So you can change setting and change the temperatures inside the room without having to go into the room. And we also alert you if we find that one of the air conditioning, one of the rooms is not operating, so it's faulty. So we send you an alert. So then the engineering team via the dashboard will get the signal and can go to the room and have a look at the equipment.
Oh, well, thank you very much. A very interesting product. I think energy consumption is extremely important to not just for cost, but also for sustainability, right? I mean, we're talking about saving energy is an important aspect when we talk about sustainability. So, really, I think this is something that people should look into and actually check out Brian and his team over at SensorFlow at their exhibit booth. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
So that's it. That's all the companies that presented. If you're just joining us late and you missed some of the previous ones, you can watch this video on demand, go back and see what the different organizations you missed. For any of the other sessions you might have missed, just remember you can also view them on demand as well. So let me just share my screen quickly here. So once again, thank you to all our companies that came pitched today. So we had Angelo from DCS Plus, Andre from OKKAMI, Christoph from Easy Dialogue, Hi-Ho from Trip, Melvin from Resio, Dennis from Porter Technologies, and of course, Brian from SensorFlow. Once again, also thank you to Kun Amarit for moderating the panel earlier at the beginning of the session with Hi, Melvin, and Angelo. So thank you very much, Kun Amrit. As I said, he also moderated a session on Monday of our venture capital session. So if you haven't watched that, feel free to watch it on demand. You can just click on to the program, go to the schedule, click on that particular Pada Beyond forum, and then that session, and you'll be able to watch that particular session on demand. So thank you very much for all of you for joining us this morning. This morning for myself, maybe the afternoon for you, or the evening for others. Thank you to all of our sponsors, ADB Ventures, TCEP, and Simplifying. Later today, we have our second Discover Beyond session. This is Discover Beyond Mice, mice startups with TCEP. So we'll hear from these startups: Zip Event Loops, Potioneer, Altotech, Happen, and Daywork. It starts at 2 p.m. Bangkok time, so please do join us. Also tomorrow we have on the final day of the Pada Beyond, excuse me, we'll begin the morning with Discover Beyond Marketing, effectively marketing travel during a pandemic. We'll have a presentation from a representative from MMGY Global, and then in the afternoon we'll have Discover Beyond 2021. Welcome to the new normal. And you'll hear from Dr. Mario Hardy, Pada CEO, about what to expect in 2021 and beyond. So please do join us. I said the marketing will have, after the presentation, we'll hear from the Asian Development Bank, Simplifying, Mekong Tourism, Simple View, and GLP Films. And in the afternoon, we'll hear from Masterplan, Dragon Trail, Talent Basket, Japan Sun, and sorry, I don't recognize that last logo. But yes, please do join us. Simple View. I think it is. Yes, I think it's Simple View. No, Simple View is this one. Sorry, I don't know that logo offhand. But please do join us tomorrow, and especially this afternoon. Sugati, sorry, the Sugati. That is the last company with the S there. If you have any questions about today's session or about this afternoon's session or about any of the sessions coming up or that have passed, feel free to email me. My email is fairly simple, paul@pada.org. Any questions about any of our activities, feel free to visit our website, www.pada.org. And that's it for this morning's session. I will see you this afternoon at Discover Beyond Mice. Thank you.